What's going on, guys? Jake here and Carly here today. We are doing a quick little video on stabilization and cheap stabilization for that matter. So what are the ways that we can basically make our footage look stabilized? Because, you know, maybe we're shooting at not slow motion. We'll throw that in today just for comparison, but maybe we're not shooting slow-mo. Maybe we want to get some regular frame rates, 24, 30, that type of thing. How do we make it stabilized and how can we do it for cheap? Someone's calling me. I'll call him back in a second. But anyway, we are gonna shoot these shots and I'm gonna stop talking for now. I'm gonna send you guys back to Jake in the office to do all of the technical analysis on the results, and we're just gonna get the results. So see you guys back there. Oh. Hey guys, what's up? All right, so we're back in the office, got the footage. We did a couple of different tests, a couple of different cameras, a couple of different techniques. Let's talk through them right now. Most importantly today, guys, we wanted to basically get some analysis on this guy right here, the Neewer carbon fiber, Neewer. I don't know how I want to say that, but this stabilizer right here, which basically, as you guys can see, as you can observe, is the poor man's glide cam. So glide cam's a big name. Devin Supertramp, Devin Graham, I guess is his real name, basically made glide cams famous. There were several other guys, but he's kind of the big name right now. Everyone wants to use his signature series, but they can range anywhere from $600 to $700. And this, you know, Neewer knockoff on Amazon was about $70 when I bought it. And so, you know, is it really that much worse than what he's doing? And how does it compare to the other stabilization techniques that we have, and how do those compare to slow motion? Because we've talked about slow motion being a stabilization technique in the past. All right, guys, so the reason why I'm doing this video today is real quick update. I am shooting a wedding next September, early the beginning of September with Jordan. We got our first little wedding gig. I gotta go through all those details. He sent me an email today and we gotta see what's going on there, but it's really hard to shoot a wedding entirely in slow motion. Now, obviously, I would imagine, depending on what they want, I need to read the details because everyone wants different stuff for their wedding videos. Slow motion is a key and beautiful touch to wedding videos, but you know, there's a lot of moments that you want those regular frame rates, that 24 frames per second, and you know, stabilized footage in regular frame rates, which are a lot harder to get. In slow motion, we can get away with murder. I can be running and gunning with my Joby pod, you know, and microphone and get some cool cinematic type looks. But if it's shooting a wedding and it has to be real-time video, I've got to come up with some stabilization answers. And so I've had this Neewer, you know, stabilizer. I'll put the picture of it up right here. Had it for a while now, and I just wanted to compare that to some of the other stuff and just do a quick little video on stabilization. So let's talk about the footage results that we got out tonight. So first off, guys, we shot the G9, this camera right here, handheld, old school, just, you know, no stabilization. Let's see what those results look like. I'll flash them up really quick right now. All in all, actually really surprised with how good these looked, and it's really attributed to just how good the stabilization is in the G9. I think with a little bit of warp stabilization, these are gonna look really, really good. So let's throw on that warp stabilization. Let's look at it now. Based on the results, I think it's pretty safe to say if I absolutely had to get away with no stabilization with this camera, with how good the camera in-body image stabilization is, I could probably get away with it. This camera has some ridiculous image stabilization. Even on the pan, even on, you know, just a little bit of warp stabilization added, it's pretty unbelievably awesome. So we'll compare those. Looked really, really good. For handheld, it's pretty hard to beat. So now, obviously, the real reason why we're here, let's compare it to the Neewer stabilizer, the actual glide cam, and let's put those results up right now. This was again shot with the G9, so you have the added benefit of the camera's stabilization as well as using an actual stabilizer. And all in all, these turned out really, really good. I thought these results were pretty immaculate. I'm super excited to use this in the wedding. I think they looked great. Love them. Here's a couple of quick samples with some low shots, you know, to get those nice low feet shots that everyone loves on Instagram. Those turned out really good. All in all, this stabilizer, I would give, you know, a grade A rating. I need to use it a lot more. I've used it in the past, but when I'm running and gunning and shooting slow-mo, I really just, it's kind of a pain to use, but for a professional gig, doing a wedding, I'm definitely gonna use it. It's gonna add just that perfect touch to make nice stabilized footage. Okay, and just because we can't stop there, we've got to test all the other stuff. Let's now test the DJI Spark. So this really, guys, I mean, I'll flash up the results right now. I wasn't able to fly it quite as close to Carley as I wanted because of just the way that the sensor works on that. I should have put it in sport mode so that I could have gotten a lot closer to her. But anyway, this is one of my best stabilized results, and it's no surprise. It's DJI, it's a drone, it looks awesome. After seeing those results, I'm like, man, I really should invest in a Mavic Air when, you know, as my next camera tool, because it's just hard to beat how cinematic and how smooth drone shots really can look. No camera shake, everything is just sliding along. They're just an invaluable tool. There's another example of awesome stabilization. All right, so now our next subject is the Sony GoPro, the Sony Pro, the Sony FDR-X3000. Let's flash up those clips. All in all, you know, really solid results, turned out really good. I'm, again, super pleased with this camera, and just, that was handheld, you know, so if I had maybe had it on something a little heavier to weigh it down a little bit more, might have looked a little bit less jittery. The pan was pretty jittery, but for handheld camera of this size where my hand can introduce so much shake, it's really pretty freaking hard to beat. All right, guys, and the final camera I tested tonight was the Google Pixel 2, which has always surprised me with its camera stabilization. So let's flash up those clips. As far as the follow shot goes, really solid results. Super impressed with this being in a cell phone, and again, I was holding it in my hand. The pan got a little bit rougher, was a little jittery, wasn't the best, but still, for being a cell phone and being in my hand, pretty unbelievable basically that for paying $0 extra off of what I would already have in my pocket every day, you can still get some pretty cool stabilized results. So that was another fun little test. All right, guys, well, that is all I have for you today. Just a quick little video on stabilization, comparing some of the footage. That's all from me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Like and subscribe if you think this is interesting what I do. That's all from me. You guys have a great night. Peace out. Jake here. See you guys in the next one.